working? I think it is. Yeah, it looks like everything's working. It says that I'm live. Hold on. Don't know how to zoom out. Oh, here it is. Hello, everybody. I'm back with another stream. Hopefully this one doesn't go as horribly as the last couple have gone. As you can see from the title, we're going to be doing Contender percent attempts. I've just been finishing my warm-ups on some of these fights. These fights are difficult. That's all I'm gonna say. The entire major circuit is just asking for me to mess up. We're just doing a bit of Sean attempts right now. This guy sucks. Oh, well, we actually got it there. Okay. Alright, so we got it there. I just buffered the star punch a little bit too early. Good. Good. That's always good. This one's another difficult one. This one's gonna be the sucky one. Because this was the one that cost me the 80X on my PB because I made a mistake on him and it cost me 5 seconds, I'd say.
One, two, three, four. Come on. Right. One, two,
All right.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on. Right.
See, like that's not what we want. Phase 3 is the hardest phase. Phase 3 is by far the hardest phase. I wouldn't have lost as much time, but it would have lost time.
One, two, three, four. Come on. Right.
I didn't. Oh my god. Alright, one more. Then we will start. And remember, Andy got like a 42.6 or 42.7.
Come on. Right.
Like he got like a 42x on this guy during his PB. So,
1, 2,
like I should be able to at least get a mid 43 on him.
5. Come on. Right.
तेरा ध्यान कहाँ है?
That's a 43.
Hey, kid.
See, a mid 43 wouldn't be too bad. Like, that would gain 5 seconds. That would gain 5 seconds. Get 5 seconds back at least. Okay, here we go. We are starting. I'm excited. I'm excited to start this. It's either gonna go horribly or it's gonna go slightly well. We're gonna have some attempts that at least can make it decently far. My biggest concern is getting Dawn, the Dawn loop thing. I really don't care about getting fast tempo right now for the moment because there's enough time to be made up in other places that it's as long as I just don't make any serious mistakes on anything, I'll be fine.
Vive la France! Back out!
And it's good to be back. It's good to be back. I've missed Punch-Out a lot. Coming back from Kansas on Labor Day weekend. I thought, I was just like, I need to do a stream of Punch-Out. Like, it's a must. It's a must do. And I thought about what I should do, and I do have a backup plan if attempts are going horribly. But for now, this is attempt number 1, so.
Mommy!
This is attempt number 1, so you can't really gauge anything until you get quite a few attempts under your belt. Well, I'm 2 for 2 on guessing the time that I'm gonna get before it even pops up. That's a thing. I had a feeling that was like a mid-19. It was either gonna be like a .41 or .47, and I assumed it was gonna be a .47. I've played the minor circuit Contender % too much to like not notice the frame counts and stuff. This could be the first roadblock, really, of the run. I practiced, though, enough that I'm confident I'll be able to do it. I'm confident in my ability to consistently get this good hit. It's just one attack really just ruins the entire vibe of the fight, and it's this one.
Here it comes.
See, like, we were late on it. Well, that's a wash already, but I'm just gonna do phase 3 to try to see if I can get the move cancel.
7, 8, 9. Come on. Right.
Well, we finally got a counter. Oh gosh dang it, I forgot. I can just reset it the easy way. Oh well. Knockout! I had a sneaky feeling that was a .78, but I wanted to think it wasn't. Well, we're even. We're even with our PB. Alright, well. Disco Kid is once again our boogeyman. Although I can't really say that after one attempt. I was warming up on him, and I didn't miss any of his counters. So, I don't know what to think about that. Maybe I was just a bit too conservative there. I just gotta be more aggressive.
Right.
Mommy.
I just gotta be more aggressive with the Disco Kid counters. Wow, we're even with the first two fighters. But we're a second and a half already behind Andy's world record. That just goes to show how good your execution needs to be in order to be on par with the record. I mean, at first, like back when Mystery Man held it a couple of years ago, I mean, people thought that was going to be impossible to beat, but Andy's 756 it's unreal, man. All you need to know is that it was 11 seconds off the task. All you need to know is that Andy's 756 is, well, it's like, all you need to know is that Andy's PB is 11 seconds off the task, and that most of that, or a decent chunk of it, comes from not even like execution time loss. A majority of it comes from him not even performing the IL strategies and him performing safer single cycle strategies. In reality, you could beat his record, but you'd have to do quite a few things in order to beat it. However, I just don't think his record's ever going to go down. A 7.5x is achievable. You just gotta have really good execution on your fights, which is what he did on his 756. Like, his execution was impeccable on most fights. Missed him. Oh boy. He completely mistimed that. Oh, well. I guess we would have gotten a better... I guess we made up that time and everything else. I guess. I gotta buy, like, a new Wii controller, because that way I could do quick dodges better. Like, because they're just so inconsistent on my controller, it's not even funny. And it's the left quick dodge that's even more consistent than the right quick dodge, because the right quick dodge actually does kind of work. Oh boy.
Right.
Oh my god, I do not. No. I don't want to see this time. I really don't want to see this time. That was so bad. I'm gonna guess it was like 21.99. It was that bad. Like, that execution was so terrible. The Star Punch was pretty good, but the execution was just terrible. Oh my god. How? How are you going to tell me that that was a 19.53? I deserved a 21 because of that execution. How are you going to sit here and tell me that that was somehow a 1953? And that we somehow only lost 10 frames on those first 5 inputs.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on. Right. Here it comes. One, two,
Like, what does that even sound
3,
like?
4,
Stop it. Stop it.
6, 7, 8. Come on. Right. Here it comes.
I'm assuming that was a bit slower. Watch I actually get a 0.64. No, it was actually a 4. Alright, we're off to a good start. It would be off to an even better start if we somehow got fast hippo, but I have my doubts. Alright, here we go. Hippo time. Early. I didn't do any warm-up attempts on Hippo, so not really much of a surprise. You got a 50, I'm pretty sure. Like a mid-50 or something. So we're gonna be 3 seconds behind, but we can easily make that up. We've already basically lost any chance of a 7.5x, but does it really look like I care? 50, 56. Alright, we're 3 seconds behind. 2.5 seconds behind. That's fine. I didn't want to throw the Star Punch too late.
Now let's take down
which
the
is
next
probably
circuit.
why I didn't delay it a little bit more.
Quick feet, Mac. Quick feet. Work 'em, Mac. Work 'em. Left, right. Left, right. That's it, baby. Keep it up, Mac. Keep it up.
Go, Mac, go. Sprint, 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 sprint. Keep sprinting, Mac. This guy's one of the... I mean, like, honestly, all 4 of the major circuit people, you could make a mistake on easily. Like, there's just... There's no winning in the major circuit. There's no winning. There's no winning in the major circuit. You're screwed, essentially.
Right. One, two, three.
This guy's the easiest
4,
guy
5,
in terms of execution,
6.
that is.
Come on, come on. Right.
I mean, seriously, like, he's the only guy in the major circuit where
1,
your consistency
2,
rate should be very
3,
high. Everybody
4,
else, it's kind of
5.
dicey, especially the last two.
Right.
I don't want to talk about it. 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 So instead of talking about it, I'm just gonna go straight into the next attempt.
Vive la France!
Back out.
Chalk that up as a better Kaiser fight than I usually get. I don't know. I'll give myself a bit of generosity. I'm gonna say I got a 2-3. Putting me 1 second ahead. I got it better than a 2-3. I got a 1-7. We barely lost any frames there. It's pretty good. We're 1.2 seconds ahead going into disco. Now if we can get, now if we can survive disco, that'd be fantastic. But I have my doubts, because disco is an annoying fight. The key really is with disco is to try to go fast in phase 1, because you don't want to like get a terrible disco time because you went slow in phase 1. That's what I've learned.
Here it comes.
It's also really nice to not like mess up on the easiest part of the game, the minor circuit. It's really easy. Like, all you have to do is just hit a 3-frame window attack 3 times and you make it out of the minor circuit every time. Every other thing in the minor circuit is free, but Disco Kid just happens to be the ender of runs. Because Disco Kid's like built different. Like, you can ask anybody. You can ask anybody except for Andy, and like ask them, why is Disco Kid so hard? Those 3-frame window attacks are ruthless, and they end your run if you miss them, especially the one in phase 2. That ends your run automatically. But if you miss one in phase 3, if you miss the second one in phase 3, your run's done. Your run's done if you miss one of those in the last one in phase 3 or the one in phase 2. But if you miss the first one in phase 2 or phase 3, then you can just counter the second one and then use the Star Punch to counter his taunt after that, and you'd only lose a little bit of time. Whereas the other 2 counters, if you miss those, you're done. It's over for you. Which is why that fight sucks. And you know why Piston Hondo sucks? The Hondo Rush. I used to be so good at that thing, but now I want to time it early so much that it's like not even funny. It's not even funny. It sucks. The Hondo Rush sucks. Got another good time on Kaiser. Why have I somehow suddenly become super consistent on the Kaiser fight? I've somehow become super consistent on it. Like, I used to somehow mess up on the Kaiser fight. Now I'm actually getting consistent on it. So we've had all but one attempt to make it out of Glass Joe and Hawk Kaiser, which is definitely an accomplishment for me because I usually just get super annoyed at the fact that I can't get out of the first 2 fights of the game, which is the easiest territory. Like, those 2 are free. And the only reason why I failed that one time is because I just tried to go for frame perfect Glass Joe, which is difficult. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We only dropped 4 frames in phase 1. It's a beautiful start.
5, 6.
That's what I like to see.
7. Come on. Fight. Here it comes.
Hold on. This was lodged on my chair. 1 frame later, and we would have had 241, like a really, really good disco time. But instead, we chose to be stupid and try to go as early as possible on disco's taunt when we know there's already enough that can mess us up on that fight. that's 2 attempts now that we've failed on Glass Joe because of missing the centering hook and then wanting to go for the frame perfect thing to make up for it. Because that's just I don't want a 27 on Glass Joe. I don't care. Like, I don't care enough. Alright, let's get a couple more consistent attempts, like, out of the minor circuit, because that would be great. Once that actually happens.
Vive la France! Back out!
Oh wow, that was awful. That was terrible. We timed the Star Punch apparently horribly. We lost time on Glass Joe. That's not a very common occurrence. That's fine. That's fine. I'll take an alright Tiger time. Okay. I'm assuming we got back to even. I'll take an okay Tiger. Or Kaiser time, sorry, not Tiger time. Kaiser time. Why do I always get those two confused? Okay, that's better. Lost like 4 or 5 frames. Most of them came from the Star Punch, but I don't really care.
3, 4.
It's
5,
something.
6, 7. Come on. Right. Here it comes.
Okay, it's nearly a 2 for you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on. Right. Here it comes. Here it comes. Ow.
Okay.
Detail. Ow.
Mac, you don't need to celebrate so much. These people suck at boxing. They don't know how to box. You don't need to waste time with these people, Mac. We all know they suck at boxing. You don't need to waste time celebrating when we all know it could be better used for your next fight. I mean, you literally did not get hit, so you can just do your next fight now. Alright. Alright, hippo time. Is that it? Nope. I actually half expected that to be it, but I think we threw it a frame too late. Or a couple frames too late. So that caught me off guard. That sucks. I don't. I don't know what happened there, but we're just not gonna talk about it. So I'm currently 7th on the leaderboard in Contender percent. I want to be in the top 5, but that would require me to get like a low 801. Because yeah, it's Andy, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, I think Nolan's 5th. So I'd have to get below an 808. So top 5 would be pretty good. If you take out my Tiger mistake and my garbage macho execution, then that's 7 seconds, and that puts me in the top 5. You take out the Tiger mistake, and that's literally. You take out the Tiger mistake, and I'm literally in the top 5. So then you put in the Glass Joe, you put in Frame Perfect Glass Joe then, and you take out the garbage macho execution, and you put in a 17 Dom. That's 5 more seconds than that. I don't know. Control it well. Alright. Kaiser! Kaiser! Kaiser!
Right.
Good. That was so bad. I did not want. I really actually just wanted to reset before the last input, but that just gave me a valid reason to. You can start counting it now. Yeah, attempts haven't gone so well so far, but that's to be expected because I'm very raw. I haven't played in like almost a month. It's been a long time since I've played. The counting won't have to happen as often, I hope, because I'm gonna make it farther into the game than one fighter in. Honestly, the goal shouldn't be an 8-0x today. The goal should just be to finish a run. But I'm not gonna, like, I'm just gonna reset the run if I know that it's gonna lose enough time where I'm gonna lose the PB, but I have faith in myself that I'll be able to get
Vive la France!
There's a part of me that thinks I can do it, but it's just a matter of not making mistakes on people like Disco and Kaiser and Don, and then the entire world circuit. The entire world circuit's scary, just because you're on a good pace and you don't want to mess it up. Imagine being German. Could be me.
Wo bist du denn? Mami!
There's not really much to say on this. If things start to go horribly wrong and I can't make it out of the minor circuit, I do have an alternate plan for the stream. I'm just not gonna say it unless it actually happens. Also, I was way off in my prediction. I thought that I went a lot slower than I did. Also, be prepared to start counting now, because this guy is, let's just say attempts on him have not gone well so far. If I gained more consistency on Disco Kid, I would make it out of the minor circuit at least 50% of the time. Just a little bit more consistency on Disco Kid is all the difference in the world. A little bit of consistency would go such a long way on Disco.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is just where it's gonna end. I can feel it.
Right. Here it comes.
Well, we timed that last frame, so we were wanting it the attempt to end, but I timed that on the third frame of his attack window, which is scary. This is gonna be a bad time, but it's okay as long as we can make it through the fight. We're actually gonna keep that. I know it sounds insane. I messed up, but I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep going. I saw that was a low 31, so we're only losing about 2.5 seconds here. Oh, 1.5 seconds. Sorry. Yeah, no, not an issue. Not an issue. We're only losing 1 second. It's okay. It's not the biggest deal in the world. We're gonna be realistically, we're probably gonna be 4 seconds behind going into major, but that's fine. There's plenty of time to lose, because I can just gain it back with better execution on the fights and just better everything. Or my controller will just do that and ruin the run before it starts. 1. I was wondering when that was gonna happen. It hadn't happened all day, and it hadn't happened for the first 46 minutes of the stream. And I was just wondering, when is my controller gonna think that me pushing up on the D-pad means dodging? you know, remembering all of the fun memories of just me holding up on the D-pad and Mac dodging. It's just bringing back so many amazing emotions, like pain and misery. I love my Wii remote. I gotta buy a new one, but they barely sell, like, I mean, they don't sell Wii remotes in stores. You have to buy them off of Amazon, and I don't know about buying stuff off of Amazon, especially the off-brand stuff. And the on-brand stuff costs like $50. It's way too much for a Wii remote. So I'm just gonna have to live with this one.
Wo bist du denn? Mommy.
A little bit of a time save there. Just because our execution was super amazing. Oh gosh dang it. I thought that I got a 17. I was almost certain that was a 17, but it was a 23. It was a frame off. It's fine. Once again, we're off to a good start, but we have to hit a roadblock immediately at the start of the game. Why not just put the the major circuit first and then Disco Kid? Because after that, and then Sandman, and because after that, like, everybody else is just child's play. Phase 1 of Disco Kid is really easy. It's just the counters are literally the only thing that is just hard about this fight.
Here it comes.
I don't want to time that Star Punch too early either, because that ends the run too, which is just
2, 3.
yeah, which is even more annoying than messing up on the counters.
Here it comes.
Oh, a 28. Wow. That's a lot better than I anticipated it would be. But then again, I did do pretty well on the first bit of the fight. I just completely sucked on the Star Punch counter and the Star Punch in Phase 2 and then the counters in Phase 3. Alright, if we can get a good hippo thing, the frame per fast hippo, like a good fast hippo, then we'd be a second ahead going into Major, which would be huge. Early. are you kidding me? We went too early. We went too late on the thing, and so we didn't get 13 hits. I had a feeling we didn't get 13 hits, and I just wanted to not believe it. That sucks. We had a good pace going, too. I'm so used to getting the short delay on that because I hit it frame perfectly that I just don't like time the long delays really well. Wow, the farthest I've made it so far, nearly an hour in, is Piston Hondo. That's the way that it always has been and always will be. Like, it's just, I struggle so heavily in the minor circuit. It always has been like that, and it still will probably continue to be like that until the end of time. Me struggling in the minor circuit. I don't know what it is about the first 4 fights of the game, but I just like them so much that I mess up. I mess up on them in order to be able to do them again and again and again and again and again and again and again.
Mommy!
That's alright. That was an alright time. I'm okay with that. Not the best in the world, but it's an alright time. Like a 4-7 is probably what it was. I mean, I'm not too annoyed at like mid-19s on Kaiser. I just wish that my execution would be better, so that I can save my worst times for people like down in the world circuit, like over here. Because as you can see, I lost like 2 seconds on Macho just because I was so nervous that like I was just like, I'm gonna make a mistake if I try to go fast. So I literally went so slow on Macho that I got a 58, which is terrible. To say the least. Like, if your execution is okay, you get a 56. If your execution is somewhat alright, you get a 56 on Macho, but I got a 58.
3, 4,
I was like pulling my dodges like annually. It was terrible.
here it comes.
That's what happens when I try timing the disco thing early, is I time it exactly 1 frame too early, and I have to reset because of that. I'm feeling like that was the attempt right there. That was the attempt that we were gonna make it out of minor with a 7.5x pace. Although you can't really say something has a pace out of the minor circuit. Like, you can say, oh, this is 7.5x pace, when you have, you can say this is 7.5x pace if you're, like, out of major with 7.5x pace, but when you're out of minor, you still have a couple determinate fights.
Bonjour. Right.
I'm going for the frame perfect.
Vive la France!
I missed it. I went too early.
Great fight!
What in the world is that decimal? That is disgusting. Wow. Only 720 glass gel. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if I should feel embarrassed or if I should feel amused. Now watch me get all of that time back because I I get Kaiser Task. Watch this, guys.
Right!
Wo bist du denn?
That wasn't Kaiser Task at all. That was actually like really bad. I went to way too late on the first counter. Okay. Okay, the goal is to make it out of the minor circuit today. Because obviously it's not gonna happen. We're not gonna get any farther than that. I want to get 2 Great Tiger at least so that I can do that fight.
Vive la France!
Take it. All I can think of when the guy says knockout is the video of like the Punch Out rendition video of Will Smith. Of the Will Smith slap. It's an incredible video. I think we missed a count. I think we're at 4. I think we're at 4 now. We're an hour in. And yet we've barely done any attempts because of this game's stupid mechanic of the fights being shorter than the cutscenes.
Right!
Wo bist du denn? Mommy!
I'm dead serious. The fights are shorter than the actual cutscenes themselves, which is one of the things that I really dislike about running Contender % is that whereas in like Super Punch-Out, the next fight comes at you immediately, so you don't have to like wait. This is like you have to wait like 2 minutes in between fights for the cutscenes. Because you can't skip anything. Now imagine if you're Andy and you have a 756 pace going into Salmon and you have to wait 2 minutes for a cutscene just to like do the fight. It's like that's way too much. That attempt didn't count. It wasn't a good enough pace going into disco. Well, I saved the world from hunger. Like, I solved world hunger that while you were gone. I also beat up on this French guy. But that happened while you were just here. Oh dang, I wish I could show. Actually, I could try to flash drive it, but I wanted to show my NFL Week 1 prediction. Just so that people can know how right or wrong I was when the week is over. Crap. 27.
They say boxing
Oh
is fighting.
shoot, I completely messed up the decimals. Okay, well. Ignore me. I'm being stupid. Oh right. We're on a better pace heading into disco. I like being 6 frames ahead going into disco because that means that I won't lose so much time on Hippo when I inevitably miss the star punch on him. I want to hit it once, at least once. I'll take that. I'll take it. I'll take it. That's fine. I completely messed up on the gut punch there.
6,
But that's okay.
7. Come on. Fight. Here it comes.
Because it's either I do this like 2 frames too slow or a frame too fast. I can't hit that middle ground on him.
3, 4, 5.
If I could manage to hit that middle ground, it would be fantastic.
Here it comes.
Okay. Why did I just do that? Why did I not reset? You know what? Screw it. We're gonna continue to go. We're continuing it. We're continuing the run. I don't care. We're 10 seconds behind. I don't care. This isn't going for a PB anyway. I'm continuing to play it out. I can't believe that just happens. I literally just missed the, I missed the star punch. I mean, I missed the comeback hook, the centering hook there, which is so easy to hit that, like, that 5-year-olds can do it. Oh, of course I get it. Of course I get it now. Of course I get the frame perfect punch now. Why wouldn't I? So now if we wouldn't have messed up Disco Kid, we would have had a beautiful pace heading into the major, but we messed up a basic facet of the game, and now
You're off to a good.
okay, 42. It's a bit too generous to myself. If this PBs, I'm officially done with Punch Out forever. I'm burning the disc. If this PBs.
Hey, great work, Mac. Now let's take down the next circuit.
If this runs PBs, I'm done. I'm so done.
Work 'em, Mac. Work 'em. Left, right. Left, right. That's it, baby. Keep it up, Mac. Keep it up.
I know we've got a long way to go, but since I'm 9 seconds behind, that means I'm a lot more aggressive in what I do. So, like, I can easily just gain time on all the fights, because I know that I have nothing to lose, and just a slight little amount to gain. So, I'm just gonna go all out. Alright, please, Piston Hondo, end my run. End my run, please, so that I can reset and just go do something else besides be 9 seconds behind. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I so appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, get rid of these splits forever. I don't want to see them ever again. And just to think we would have had a 7.5x going into major if we didn't make the stupidest move like ever. I was about to go for like IL mode, which is like impossible to do, but it saves 3 seconds if you can do it correctly. Oh, by the way, did any of you see the amazing college football games that were going on yesterday? There was this game going on between UNC and Appalachian State. I was actually watching it live, and it was one of the craziest finishes I had ever seen. So, Appalachian tied the game, or scored the tying touchdown, they were down 1 after they scored the tying touchdown, with like 40-something seconds left. And then they tried going for 2. No, it was 30 seconds left. They tried going for 2 when they didn't have any timeouts, and UNC had 2 timeouts and 30 seconds to drive the length of the to drive just half the length of the field. Then they missed the 2-point conversion because the guy was wide open, and instead of pursuing the ball, he turned backwards and fell back. So then you think the game's over, they try the onside kick, but instead of falling on the ball and just ending the game, the guy from UNC takes it to the end zone for a touchdown. They don't go for the 2-point conversion, so they're only up 8. Yes, Ohio State did beat Notre Dame. And then, the player... And then the Appalachian return guy, returned the kickoff 50 yards. Returned the kick 50 yards, so they're at midfield with like 18 seconds left. The guy catches the ball on the sideline for like 20 yards. They're at the 30 now. And then they throw a touchdown pass. And they can tie the game with a 2-point conversion, but then they get stuffed and lose. It was one of the craziest endings I'd ever seen in my life. It was insane. And the coach said afterwards, he's just like, I don't know why my players didn't go down to, why they didn't just ground the ball instead of taking it into the end zone, which would have won the game for us. It was insane.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on. Fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on. Fight.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Ow.
There we go. That was a good disco. Wait, why was it so bad? I thought that was a really good time. Well, that made me feel bad. I thought that I absolutely dominated that. And yeah, Ohio State did beat Notre Dame. That was cool. It's good. Nobody wants Notre Dame to win. Except, Notre Dame fans. Late. Get him back here. That's early enough. Garbage. We lost 4 seconds already. Wow, that was awful. 209. We got like a high 50.
Knockout! Woo-wee, Mac, baby.
Oh, but the good news is we made it out. We made it out of the minor circuit. Look at that. We did it. We finally did it.
Hey, great work, Mac. Now let's take down the next circuit. Quick feet, Mac. Quick feet. Work 'em, Mac. Work 'em. Left, right. Left, right. That's it, baby. Keep it up, Mac. Keep it up.
Wow. I'm watching highlights from the Houston and UTSA game, and this is insane. What? That was one of the craziest plays I've ever seen. He just flipped into the end zone and got in.
5,
Wow.
6.
Insane.
Come on. Fight.
That was an insane play by the quarterback there on Houston.
1, 2.
Although I gotta finish
3,
watching it after I finish
4,
off Honda.
5. Come on. Fight. TKO.
That's actually insane.
They say
Houston won. Wow, that's insane. I'd never seen like a crazier play by like I mean, but then again there was the Bengals play. I don't remember what the guy's name was, but that was an insane play. I don't remember what his name was,
1,
but
2.
Jerome
3,
something,
4,
I think was his name. He
5,
did a flip into the
6,
end zone.
7. Come on. Fight.
she scores.
Did I just miss the bear hugger? Did I just miss the counter on bear hugger because I was too focused on something else? Are you kidding me, man? We had a good pace out of phase 1 too. The phase 1's the hardest part and we just messed it up. I was too focused on something else. You know what? Since attempts aren't going so well, I wanna try something real quick. Hold on. Hold on.
Hey kid, they say boxing is fighting, backed by technique. Now listen up, I'm gonna teach you everything you need to know. Punch by moving the Wii remote or nunchuck forward. Block certain attacks by holding up on the control stick. To throw a high punch, hold up on the control stick and then throw your punch. When you have a star, you can throw your star punch. To throw a star punch, hold the A button and move the Wii remote forward. Oh no!
Did he? I think he might have unlisted it, so I might just have to find it on speedrun.com, which is fine. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So, And just let me know if the sound isn't working. But I'm going to look at I'm going to commentate over the Contender percent record. I'm going to show what it's like, what the Contender percent record looks like, and I'm gonna give a couple of my thoughts on it. We're going to go through each and every fight, and also I want to figure out like.
Yeah, you went earlier than first.
Oh yeah.
Do not continue this.
Okay.
Stop.
Also, sorry that he's of the long voice or the loud voices and stuff. I'm gonna try to turn it down as much as I possibly can. I'll just keep my voice over it. So, okay, here we go. So, as you can see, he starts out in Glass Joe. I mean, there's not much to say about this fight besides the fact that he goes for the frame perfect hit. So instead of the dodge, the 2 dodge, 3 quick dodge thing, dodges and ducks have the same frame count as each other. So instead of having a bit of inconsistency with the quick dodges, because you don't know like whether your guy's going to do a dodge or a quick dodge, he just makes sure to do 2 ducks first just to make sure that the consistency is more. So he gets a 25.88. That's 2 frames off the task. So right now he's 2 frames off the task. So now he goes into Von Kaiser. And also, hold on. Hold on, let me just make sure the sound works correctly. Yep, it does work. Okay, cool. Alright, so he goes into Von Kaiser. This is a pretty simple fight as well. There's not much to say here. He goes for the pseudo buffer. Hopefully, like, I can turn up the sound just a little bit without having like Universe and his friends blasting me in the ear, and everybody else as well.
Was it short or long? Nice. That's winning. That's a GG.
Holy shit, you're still playing Punch Out Wii.
This is my last attempt, so I gotta go to bed soonish.
1935 on Kaiser's pretty good. I'd say, like, it's about middle of the road. The task for this fight is 1893, so the amount of frames that he missed was 8, which isn't too bad. I mean, for a 6 FPI, for a 6 frame perfect input fight, that's pretty good. I'd say there's not much else to say.
Well, I'm gonna sleep from like 11 to 6.
Also, I can't really read the chat doing this, so I'll figure out something about that.
My heart medication in the morning. Gotta go to bed.
I gotta make sure I'm outside so I can pick up the newspaper.
Also, his friends are very interesting. I might need to, like, I don't know how to do this. I'll probably just mute this because I don't want his friends saying anything bad on my that'll go up on my channel. So I'll just mute it for now. Sorry that you can't hear the volume. So he gets 3 frames off phase 1 on Disco because the clock switched over to a 249 at the last second. 3 frames off phase 1, a 5 FPI phase 1 is really good. So then he goes 2nd frame there. He gets 1st frame on the Star Punch. So he's in a really good spot right now. 240, a healthy 241 off of phase 2 is amazing. Getting a 28 is really hard to do on Disco, and that really sets a pace for a good run if you can get a 28. And he got a 28 on Disco. He got last frame 28, but he got a 28, which is extremely good. So, funny thing is, this is going off of his previous PB. His previous PB was a 759, and this was because the only reason why he got a 759, I mean, just look at this. He got a 51 on Hippo, and that lost him over 3 seconds. As you can see here, doing the same strategy as me. Except he actually does, like, good Hippo dodges because he doesn't use the pseudo buffer. Hits him there. Gets the frame perfect hit. That's the big one. Because if you don't do that frame perfect hit right, you lose over 3 seconds. And it's a killer. it's a killer of runs. That's the difference between getting, if you're a regular human being and not Awesome Andy, then that separates the 7.5x's from the 8.0x's. Is if you're able to get that hit there. So then he goes down there, gets back up, and that's it for the fight. He had a really good 47 there. That's probably along the lines of a 0.24 or 0.18, 0.30. So as you can see, he's 4 seconds ahead now because he was able to get that hippo thing. He had a relatively slower hippo on his previous PB. A good hippo, I'd say, for not getting the fast hippo cycle or for getting the long delay, is probably a mid 50. That's a good hippo. Low to mid 50 is pretty good. A 51.20 is pretty bad. And Andy's not one for having slow execution on fights, as you can see here. He does a really good job in this run of making sure the execution on all of these fights is top notch. It's a step ahead. And that's the reason number one of why I don't think this record's going to be beaten. Not only does this record have all of the single segment strategies performed perfectly, he also has unreal execution on these fights. As you can see here, he got the frame perfect star punch there. The built-in buffer to do the cancel in phase 1 is nice. This is going to look very similar to the run that I did, except it's going to be better. As you can see here, he hits it with a 239. That's really good, and then he does the same buffer there. Gets a very good 232. Getting a 233, that's not very easy to do on Hondo. And he made it look easy. Then Hondo Rush just finished this guy out. And he's out. So you can see you got 34-36. That's incredible. He gained another 5 frames over his PB. A low 34 is just really hard to do on Hondo. Once again, I'll reiterate it. The TAS on Hondo is 33.76, and with the strategy that he's using, the best you can get is a 33.82 because of the... you have to watch the cutscene on the IL thing, and that changes up a ton of stuff. So he watches the cutscene here on Bear. This also saves a frame over the other strategy, which is just to skip the cutscene, because his first attack, his taunt, comes out a frame earlier than what you would if you didn't watch the cutscene. So he's trying to do that. I remember seeing a clip of him getting a 26.76 with using the phase 2 buffer. Now, that's frame perfect with the phase 2 buffer, because the phase 2 buffer wastes 1 frame exactly. So you see he gets that there. There's 9 inputs in this fight, or rather, there's only 8 non-buffered inputs in this fight, since you can use the buffer, but it's a relatively free fight if you can get past phase 1. I was just being stupid that other time. So you can see he does 3 hooks, a duck, and a star that waste 1 frame. The centering hook is really the difference between whether or not you get a 26 versus a 27. You can... If I didn't like mute him and his friends because of what they could say, he did say that in his run. The real difference as you can see, he got another 2706, but he says he got a 2718. Okay, well, he does know better than I do, but the real difference of that fight is whether or not you can hit those centering hooks quickly. Oh, we were both wrong. All right. Now I'll look at the chat real quick to see if there's any questions. Okay, no questions. Okay, cool. Good. Okay, let's go back to this. So the next fight is a fight he gets a gold split on. This fight, the time that he has up there for his PB, that's a good time to have on Kaiser. He it demolishes Kaiser in this. He demolishes it. He absolutely destroys his PB's time, and he gets a gold split off of it. This fight is the real first fight where there's a ton of places to make mistakes in. But prior to this, Andy had actually set the world record on Tiger, and as you can see, he got an extremely good phase 1. He was probably only a couple frames off being frame perfect, which is just incredible. It's amazing. So as you can see, gets up, does a really good star punch there, and then he's able to get like a lingering 230 or 231 there, which is really good. In my PB for Tiger, I just barely got a 231 phase 2. So now you can see he gets up, throws the star punch pretty well. He gets a 222, does the pseudo buffer there, and he does nearly perfectly on that. And he gets the good luck on him, and he gets him to go to the left side. That's a 50-50 chance, so there's a buffer for that. I don't use the buffer because I'm pretty good at timing it manually. But yeah, he gets a, what does he get again? It's 42.64. That's actually only 2 frames off of my PB on Tiger. That's how good it is. And that's my PB. It says a little bit about both. It's a really, really, really good single segment time, but it's also a knock on me for just being terrible at that fight. I am awful at that fight. And now this is the important fight. This is the important fight right here. Actually, I have no idea what splits he's comparing to, because he has a 2081 on this Don, which is really weird. So this is an important fight. I'm going to explain it a little bit more before he goes. So the way that this fight works is that Don, you lose a second every time that you don't hit the first 2 frames of the Don loop. The Don loop consists of you just hitting him down, left, up, right, down, left, up, right. As you can see, he doesn't drop a single one here. This is extremely hard to do. Like, I think I might be underestimating it by saying it's extremely hard to do. It takes you, I mean, like, you can build together a streak of doing it, but sometimes it can take you over a half an hour to get a single time where you can get all of the hits on Don. It's extremely difficult. And you can see he gets up, and then he does a delayed star punch perfectly. So what you have to do in order to get the fastest time on Don, if you buffer the star punch there, you actually lose a second. But if you delay it exactly a frame, or if you delay it a frame or more, then the timer slows down, so you get the fastest possible time. He actually gold split on, actually he didn't gold split on Tiger. He got a gold split on Don. He got a 1780 on Don. That's 1 frame off the TAS. Granted, it's only a 3 frame perfect input fight, but that's insane. He got a frame perfect phase 1. He dropped the frame on the counter. So he's 8 seconds ahead of his PB going into the world. Like, you can just assume that he is scared. I'd be scared too. Aaron Ryan's the simplest fight in this. There's not much to it. It's mostly a buffered fight. There's a couple inputs that you have to time, but those are extremely easy. First buffer, duck, and then you have to start with a right hook because you got to send them to certain sides of the ring in order to get the fastest possible time. So you got to send them left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, and then wherever, because that'll send them down. So as you can see, you send them left, starts with a left again. You get 7 stun hits on every single stun. Left, 3 duck buffer, sends them right again, and then you can go duck, duck, hook, into the next ones. That hits one of the first possible frames. Then you send him right with this one. You start right, send him right again, and then send him wherever. Send him to the ground. 211 is a good phase 1 time. And he knows exactly like what he got before he even got it, because there's so few non-buffered inputs that it's pretty easy to tell what your time is. Oh, he's comparing them to a different splitter. Okay, that makes more sense. But now comes Soda. As you can see, he watches the cutscene up until when Soda smashes the bottle on his head. So the reason why he does this is because it makes his first attack, come out faster. I have no idea why the cutscenes are formatted like that, but it makes the attack come out faster. I'm not sure how many frames, but it does make it come out faster. So instead of not getting hit like all the other fights in the game, Soda is a little bit different of a fight. You have to take this first hit here before you send him down, because of one reason. His attack script actually goes a lot faster when you get knocked down by his uppercuts. So what Andy does here is he gets knocked down in order to make his attack script a lot faster, along doubling with the fact that once you get hit 5 times by Soda's uppercuts, which you get hit 7 times, then Soda will actually do a taunt after his attack script, or after his regularly scheduled hook. So you see, once he gets up here, he counters his hook, and he does a nice simple buffer of 2 ducks, and then starting with whatever side you want, 6 hooks, I believe. 6 hooks, a jab, and send him down again, because Soda's mechanic works like this in Contender mode. If you get a star by countering him in the gut, or hitting him in the gut, then you just have to hit him in the face and use a star, and that'll be an instant knockdown. But you gotta add a star every time that you do it, and the mechanic resets at the end of every round. So then he goes down. And then same thing. You gotta make sure you get hit here. But instead of getting 3 stars, you only need 1 here, because like I said, he does his taunt after his regularly scheduled attack in phase 3. So as you can see here, he starts with the counter. He gets the star. You can throw the star punch into most Contender fights. If you throw a star punch into a taunt, you'll knock the person down. Most of the time. There are a couple fights where that's not the case, like Aaron Ryan, Glass Joe, who else? Aaron Ryan, Glass Joe, Bald Bull, Super Macho Man. Honestly, it's split. It's split because there are fights where if you throw a star punch into taunts, then you'll knock him down, and then there are some where it doesn't do anything. Bald Bull is a sneakily hard fight. I'm gonna say that. I know some people disagree with me, but Bald Bull is a sneakily hard fight. There's a reason why. There's a couple inputs of the fight that are actually pretty difficult to do. As you can see, he watches the cutscene. That's gonna make his attack come out faster as well. So, and then he's gonna do a buffer here. He's gonna immediately hold down the 2 button to provoke his attack, and then he's gonna duck twice to get under there. He's gonna gather 3 stars. And instead of buffering the star punch like I would do, Mystery Man would do, a lot of people would do, Andy actually is going to delay the star punch quite a bit because it slows down the clock and keeps the clock frozen, as you can see. And then he dodges here. This, in my opinion, is the hardest part of the fight. In order to get the only pattern you want on Bald Bull, you need to get 6 stun punches here. Well, if you go too early on the dodge, which is the first 2 frames, then you'll get 7 stun punches, you'll knock him down, and you'll lose the run. if you get 5 stun punches, he will have 1 bit of HP left. You can either knock him down with a gut punch that'll waste about a second, but it'll kind of save your run. Or, if you're like me, you'll make a mistake and forget to do a gut punch there to knock him down, and you'll lose your run. So it's very important that you get 6 stun punches here. As you can see, he gets the 6, and he gets a 238 phase 1. That's really good. Well, I mean, a good 238. So then what you do here, you duck the next attack. He actually ducked pretty late under it. You get the 2nd star, and you can either get 6 or 5 stun punches off of this one. It doesn't really matter. He gets 6, and then he delays this punch and sends him down. 226, the fight's over. There's a buffer in phase 3 for the bull rush. That's the first buffer I ever learned how to do. You go duck, left hook, right hook, or duck, right hook, left hook. It really does not matter. And he's out. And only wastes 0.2 as well. And he actually gold splits on Bald Bull, which is very impressive. I'm sure his PB actually was the previous gold split because he only gained 0.11 on him. I think he's actually comparing to his PB now. I don't know what he was comparing it to before, but I think he put his splits into a different spreadsheet when comparing against his previous attempt. So as you can see, he gold splitted on Hippo, Tiger, Don, and Bull. So that's just extremely impressive because there's only 13 fights and he gold split on all of them. And I think he gold splits on Sandman too. Pretty sure. Macho, he didn't skip the cutscene because we all know Macho's the best. Now this is a truly impressive fight, and I'll tell you why. The reason why is because Macho is an extremely hard fight to execute quickly. As you can see here, at the beginning he was only 1 frame off at the start punch because he got a lingering 245, not full lingering, but part lingering. So that's a really impressive start. He gets another really good dodge there. He goes photo op, and he's out in 229. A 229 is a really, really good phase 1 Macho for single segment. He goes into his Macho swing. He does the pseudo duck there. He gets a quick 220, and he gets him out at 216. 216 once again, really good phase 2 for single segment. 216 is the number you'd get for the TAS. It's not quite as quick as that, because as you can see, it was a very slow 216. And as you can see, he does the 2 quick dodge, and then he does the 3 hits here, and then ducks again, and this is gonna get first frame on the duck. He'll duck 1 more time. You can do a duck there, or you can try for a quick duck. The IL does a quick duck. The quick duck is so much harder to do than a quick dodge. You got to go up and then down on the D-pad as you're doing like the input, and then which saves a frame, and it makes it look weird. But you go duck and then you go star. That's the first frame you can possibly, or the second frame you can possibly hit Macho with that star punch, which is really impressive. What's even more impressive is that he got a 55 on Macho. That is extremely hard to do. Getting a 56 on Macho is hard enough to do in single segment, but getting a 55 is insane. And now we head to the final fight of the game, or of Contender Percent. Mr. Sandman, it's hard to get down at first. Like, once you start learning the single segment strategies, this one is probably one of the hardest to do. What you got to do is you got to center him, or provoke his first attack, hit him, counter him twice. If you counter these too early, you don't get the star and your run's over. If you counter them too late, or try countering them too late, you get hit, your run's over. Any mistake on Sandman loses about 10 to 20 seconds. The hardest part, in my opinion, on Phase 1 is not only hitting the ones right after you hit stars on him, which come out faster and in a less predictable way, but also hitting these gut cancels of his standstill attack. Those are really hard to hit as well. Cut, cancel again, and then you throw the star punch into his next attack. That's a pretty easy one to do. Not much to say about that. 244 is really good though. You hit him there, and then you throw the star punch into his standstill attack. And then you have to hit this boo attack. That's actually, I don't know what the frame window is, but it's sometimes hard to hit that. And then you just go duck into those things. It's an easy buffer to do. Once you get past that, you're done with Phase 1. Phase 1 is quite a doozy. Phase 2, you only need to do 3 inputs. Or really 2 inputs. So you throw the star punch on, like... Don't throw it right away. Because Sandman will just say no and you'll hit him before he can do his attack. It'll cancel his attack here, and then the last input you need to do is counter his attack there, buffer the star punch, hit him one more time here, and then duck into the counter. And I lied, there's one more input you need to do in Phase 3, but it's really easy. All you need to do when he gets up is throw one left hook, duck, and throw your star punch, and the run's over. And I'm pretty sure he got a 37.77. My PB had a 37.71, so it was essentially even with each other. It's an insanely difficult run. If you make any mistakes on any fight in the game, over 90% of the time your run is over. Especially if you're on the top level like Andy is. Any mistake is deflating. And you lose your run. 756.90, in my opinion, will never be beat. But it can be beaten. I can say this. There are a couple ways that 756.90 can be beaten. But first, I'll tell you why it cannot be beaten. Or at least not with the strategies that can be used here. If you run down through, and I'll run down through each of these times, I'll tell you how much room for improvement there is. Glass Joe, you have 2 frames, 0.12 worth of improvement that you can do. Von Kaiser, 8 frames, so 0.48 worth of improvement. Disco Kid, there's not much room for improvement, I can tell you that. With the current strat. You can't go much lower than that. Hippo, you can't go much lower than that either, at least not with the safe buffers. Hondo, can't go much lower than that. You can go maybe like 6 frames lower, probably, realistically, with what you have. Bear, mathematically, you can go 7 frames lower with the current strat, but you'd have to do really well on the centering hooks. That is one way you could do it. Kaiser, no. Tiger, no. Can't do that. You can't go much lower than that. It really is... You could, but it's just so hard. Don, he only left 1 frame in terms of improvement room, so no. Aaron, you can go about maybe a couple frames lower with all the safe buffers. Soda, you can go, I think, a decent half-second lower on Soda. Bowl, not much room for improvement. Macho, not much room for improvement. And Sandman, that's about as fast as you can go. So as you can see, there's maybe like a second in terms of improvement. Really, theoretically, there could be more than 2 or 3 seconds worth of improvement just based on execution alone. But with the current strats, it's just, it's daunting. It really is. These splits would be awful to run against. But yeah, that's the reason why in singles, with these current strategies, you're not going to be able to beat Andy's record. However, it's not impossible, because even though his time is only 11 seconds off the tasks, there are strategies that you can implement in order to get a record. Now I'm going to show you a couple of these. Also, I have no idea what the heck that is. I'll just go to Nolan's channel because it's the easiest. So there are a couple of strategies that you can implement on certain fights. Hashtag not sponsored, by the way, on this. Disco Kid, as you could see, he got a very, very good time on Disco Kid, and I said there wasn't a lot of room for improvement. However, there is one strategy that you can implement that will save you a second. And that's it. That's the strategy right there. So why does that save time? Well, once he gets up, you counter his first attack like normal, but then you cancel his next attack because you know what comes after that. The taunt comes after that, and the taunt is pretty quickly to counter. So instead of having to get 2 extra stars, you just need 1. And as you can see, there's a 232 on the clock, and you get a 27x theoretically. If you do everything fast enough, that's a 27x. So that saves you about a second over Andy. It's 1 frame perfect. It's a mandatory frame perfect input though on the cancel. You need to cancel it on the frame that he would start doing his attack. That's why it's a cancel. So it's a mandatory frame perfect input. And there's no buffer into that. So you're going to have to time it manually. So that's one way of doing it. There's 1 second worth of improvement in that. However, in this, there's much more than a second worth of an improvement. I'm just gonna play through this fight. And then I'll go through it.
One, two, three, four, five. Come on, come on. One, two, three. Come on, come on. It's up.
Okay, let's break this down. And by the way, I'll link all of these videos in the description of the stream when it goes up on YouTube. So the first things first, you have to cancel his first attack. Now, you can actually just skip the cutscene and duck into this, so it makes it a lot easier. Nolan, this is the IL for it, so Nolan actually got the tasks for this fight. And then what you got to do is you got to dodge the next 2 and get stars off of them, and then get the 6 stun punches off of the next attack. So then what you do next is what you saw a little bit of Andy doing in the single segment strategy. You got to delay your star punch. Enough to where it slows down the clock, but not enough to where you lose time. And then there's actually, you have to counter the next 2 attacks. Now there's actually a buffer for the first one, a frame perfect buffer. These are both frame perfect. Mandatory frame perfect inputs, because there's only 1 frame where you actually get a star on these. You have to go duck, right hook, or right jab, left jab into the first one, but then you have to do a hook for the next one. And you have to hit it on the last possible frame. So that's already 1 mandatory frame perfect input that you have to do, along with a delayed star punch.
2, 3, 4, 5.
So then what comes next? Another mandatory frame perfect counter. And then a delayed star. And then another mandatory frame perfect star. So you have to do 3 of them. But hey, it saves 3 seconds over. It does save 3 seconds over the single segment strategy. Because as you can see, the clock has a 2:30 here. Reasonably, it would save 3 seconds. And then as you can see here, it's just the simple bull charge as before. 32:08 is the task. And then you saw Andy got a 35.66. So this would save about 3 seconds with a good pace in this. 3 whole seconds over Andy's record. So, with the strategies that I'm talking about, you can save 4 seconds. There's not much else to say. I mean, there's not much else to save in terms of time. It's not really realistic otherwise. There's no other ways to really save time. But yeah, that's Andy's record, and those are some of the ways that you can beat it. But 756 is just such a hard bar to beat. It's not reasonable. And that's why Andy said that he was done with running the category, was because he knows that record is not going to be beatable. Now I'm going to try to attempt to show you how the ball roll one works. As you can see, I've pulled off the strategy before, but I haven't extensively done practice on this. There's 3 mandatory frame perfect inputs. So in order to save the 4 seconds, you would have to perform 4 mandatory frame perfect inputs on the entire run. Okay, well, because as you can see, it cancels the attack there. I got hit there because I went too late on it. So if I don't skip the cutscene, I can try to cancel, but it's probably not gonna work. Yeah, I mean, realistically, if you're not a robot, then you can just duck into it. Oh, that gave me 7. I'm gonna try to at least get past phase 1. Oh, I timed it too early. See, you can see it's really hard to get that frame perfect input. You gotta time it 3 times. Once again, timed it too early. Come on. I'll try to get at least to phase 2. Try to at least get to phase 2 on this. I don't know what the heck happened there. So you can see that was a little bit late. And there we go. So that's the first frame perfect input there. 235 is not good in any means, but it's something.
3, 4. Come on. Right.
So then you do that. And then you do that. Although I just didn't hit the other frame perfect. You should get one like decent pace up into phase 2. One decent pace. And then I'll try to do the disco kid thing, and then I'll be done. That was good. There we go. That was it right there.
1, 2,
That was really good.
3, 4.
Now let's see if we can improve on it. Nope. Okay. Alright, let's go do the disco kid. I'll go try the disco kid thing one more time, and then I'll hop off. Unlike Bald Bull, I actually have the TAS on this guy. I just didn't, I hadn't recorded it because I'm stupid. Alright. It really doesn't matter what piece we have going into that, we just need to get to the input, so I'll just make sure that we get to the input. It really doesn't matter. We can make a mistake in phase 2. I'm fine with that.
7. Come on. Fight.
Here it comes.
Although that is annoying. Oh, come on, just die. Wow.
1, 2, 3.
I am not in practice with this guy's counters and stuff.
Fight.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
So I went too late that time. I went too late. It's one frame, and it's the hardest, one of the hardest inputs in the game. In my opinion, it is the hardest input in the game. There's not much harder. There's not a lot of harder inputs, in my opinion. It's probably the hardest frame perfect input to hit in the game. Thankfully, you only have to hit it once.
Fight.
Here it comes.
This would be a really good time. That was frame perfect, that star punch.
4, 5.
So it would be a good thing if I could just hit this here and...
Fight.
Here it comes.
No, that was too early. I'm a better teacher than my calculus professor. I literally just saw that on the chat. I mean, I like talking about stuff that I like doing, so
2, 3.
I mean, speedrunning this game, I love learning about everything about this speedrun. I love learning about it. It's a very interesting topic.
1.
I know basically everything about the Contender % run. I can explain it.
6, 7.
Alright, let's see if we can get this canceled here.
Come on. Fight.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
As you can see, this cancel is just annoying. It's just annoying. I knew that was too early. gotta at least get to the cancel quicker. I don't really understand how that was early, but whatever. Okay, I need to stop timing that input early. Because it's costing me everything. There we go. Also, how's the better stream?
1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5, 6, 7.
Alright.
Come on. Fight. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Can I please
6,
just hit this?
7, 8.
Cancel.
Come on. Fight.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
I don't want to talk about that. That input sucks.
Fight.
That input sucks. That's all. That's all I need to say.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I remember when I was getting mad at myself for not being able to hit that input blindfolded.
Fight.
At the 241, that's pretty interesting. Because the task on this game is 7:45:37. So that's only Annie's run is only 11 seconds behind the task for this game.
Come on. Fight.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh, that was close. I so should have had that there. That cancel was so close. And to think, I can do the TD Macho cancel so much so much more easily than all the other cancels.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I can do the hippo frame perfect input. Like I can do the hippo frame perfect input so much easily as well. And then we have the Aaron Ryan frame perfect mandatory frame perfect input on the IL. Like I was really good at doing that. Like I don't understand why this one's just so hard.
Here it comes.
That wasn't late. That was like early. What do you mean? Man, this is taking a while.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on. Fight.
Here it comes.
1, 2,
Can I please finally
3,
get this?
4, 5,
Please.
6, 7, 8.
Here we go.
Fight.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
That was early? That felt perfect.
Fight. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on. Fight.
Here it comes.
Whatever. It's the same attack script, so it doesn't really matter if I mess up.
1, 2, 3.
It's just slightly annoying.
Fight.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Is that impossible to hit? Am I just missing something? Is that impossible to hit or something?
Fight.
Oh dang. I didn't think that was early. Okay, I'll do a couple more attempts on this. Reminder that this has the same frame window as hitting the Glass Joe frame perfect. I mean, hitting the Glass Joe like last frame as he's coming back in. The same frame window as hitting Hippo at the right time to get his fast cycle. Like, this is the same frame window as all of that. And it's the same, it's literally a third of the frame window as the Here It Comes attack, and the Here It Comes attack isn't even that difficult.
3, 4,
I just don't get it.
6.
I don't get what makes this so hard as opposed to all the others.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
How? How in the world was that not it? How in the world was that not it? I can't time it. I can't time this input for the life of me. Need just to calm myself and get
2,
this.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on, come on. Fight.
I really don't care what's on the clock anymore. I just want to get this once.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, come
Here
on.
we go.
Fight.
Here it comes.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it's doable. It's just super difficult. And it feels distinctly different than like of when you get it. Okay, well. Somehow I did
tell
get
me
the
something.
task on this fight.
Isn't it past
as
your
well.
bedtime?
Okay.
I won't tell.
See, and even when like I was going super slow, I still improved over Andy's single segment thing. So there's time to save. In fact, there's more than a second to save. But I hope all of you enjoyed this stream. I'll make sure to post the links to Andy's record and then Noel's